Welcome everyone to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the southwest corner of the map, playing in purple, we've got Crackedyhere playing as the Byzantines, and his opponent in the northeast playing in orange. We've got Kaup playing as the ayyubids. Welcome everyone to Gorge. That is the map for today. And well, the House of Wisdom being built early, as you'd expect with the ayyubids. 2 new civilisations for the Sultan's Ascend DLC, featuring on the new map, coming with the Sultan's Ascend DLC. I'm pretty excited with this matchup. The Byzantines, I think, are in an interesting spot. Out of all the civilizations, I feel like this is the slowest one to have been discovered, like in terms of good strategies that have been working quite well for the players. And it makes sense because it's a very technically advanced civilization in terms of, well, not the civilized, but the mechanics. That's what I mean. You know what I mean. But effectively, you've got the economy does revolve around the cistern, and there's lots of things that are new mechanics to the civilization, giving a bit of a buffing of the 5%. Gather speed. Now we have seen recently a bit of a build of getting 3 cisterns and connecting with aqueducts in the Dark Age, or maybe the very early feudal age, just to increase that gather speed up to 15%, which is very significant, by the way. And we do see some aggression coming out of the Byzantines these days. I wonder if we will see that against the ayyubids. I suspect not. I mean, this could play out in 2 ways. I feel like sometimes in Age of Empires 4 there are certain civilizations that dictate the tempo. They kind of, they kind of are the ones that dictate in the terms of the fight, and the other civilization kind of has to react. It does feel like the Byzantines, in many ways, are a bit more of a reactionary civilization. The reason why I said that, it feels like their main power spike is in the late Imperial Age, when they can afford, loads of mercenaries just from olive groves and olive oil. But I do feel like there's a bit of a shift into the Imperial Hippodrome in the early feudal age. It can be very strong, especially with the ability, the triumph ability, healing up those units, diving in. So I think generally, I do like the idea that Byzantines can be a bit flexible. I think we're just feeling our way into the Imperial Hippodrome build. I think it's strong, especially if you think about maybe getting Keshiks with the mercenary contract. It doesn't have to be the case, and like going for horseman longbowmen is very, very strong themselves. So you might even see the Western mercenary contract. Either way, I'm a big fan of the Imperial Hippodrome. I'm a big fan of the triumph ability, and a big fan of the expilatores, which is the additional 2 damage you get for the horseman for villagers. But also killing a villager gives you 20 gold. I say all that, but we're not going to see any of that, because Crackedy is going to go for more of the Grand Winery approach, going for the Olive Grove. So we should be expecting a long game today, because this is kind of a telegraphing of the Byzantines. It feels like Byzantines can either be aggressive in the feudal age with the Imperial Hippodrome, or play for that sort of mid to late Castle Age, Imperial Age with the Grand Winery. And looks like that's what we're going to get today. Now the ayyubids, they're no strangers to booming, which is kind of an interesting thing, because obviously as a variant civilization as the Abbasids, I feel like if you're going to sum up the ayyubids in one word, in comparison to the Abbasids, I'd say aggression. Like, it feels like the ayyubids can deal aggression a bit more better. Like, they don't get a lot of the eco bonuses that the Abbasids do. They don't get access to Fertile Crescent. They don't get access to fresh foodstuffs, which makes the villagers cheaper, and the Fertile Crescent, making the buildings cheaper, including the town centers. So 2 town centers often I play here for the ayyubids, but they don't necessarily have huge benefits in terms of eco bonuses geared especially towards that, such that the Abbasids do. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Cowpy? Could we be seeing a market? Maybe trade? It could be. I mean, there's such a kind of interesting, like, ayyubid trade could work, especially when you factor in, if it goes up with a trade wing and gets a couple of traders, if you purchase them, that could be pretty strong. That wolf is going to have something to say about that, though. Especially with the Grand Winery opening, right? For the Byzantines, they're not going to come online in terms of aggression for quite some time. And it does give Kaup the space to breathe into getting that trade. And so, I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. We're going to be seeing possibly late game Byzantines, late game ayyubids. And I'm pretty excited to see how this one pans out. There is that market. That's going to be... Oh, that's actually really quite lucky. In some ways, like if he decided to go a little bit further, those wolves would have had this villager for breakfast. Now, I guess I would say a very big thank you for everyone who's supporting the channel recently, especially on Twitch, because I would say that I've started obviously streaming a bit more on Twitch. So if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe drop a follow on Twitch if you want to see me live and check it out. I'm pretty excited to do more live streams actually. I think I'm more comfortable doing it. I've obviously been doing a lot of offline casting recently, well, for the last year or 2. And it's obviously a different skill doing it live, and I don't know, it's a bit weird, it's a bit more pressure some ways, but it's definitely fun, especially engaging with chat. in between games. Now, a second town center coming up for the Byzantines. So definitely going to be playing that macro approach, and I wouldn't be surprised to see... I mean, at this point, we probably won't even see a second town center from the ayyubids, right? Because it's going to go for trade. And what's interesting is that on a map like this, which is very open, I gotta say, I kind of favor the two town center approach, because the trade, it depends on very much how well you defend them and how easy it is to defend. On this map, it's not very easy to defend. It's very open. Having said that, though, the ayyubids can start to pump out units if he did go for that. Yeah, he did go for the trade. So he's actually going to be able to maybe even actually buy some units eventually, exchange it for gold, and get them out early to defend. And I think a lot of this matchup and this kind of style of play, the two strategies involved here today, is going to be based around who can defend the trade or who can attack it and who can kill it. I think a lot of it's going to revolve around the successfulness of the trade. We'll have to see. And the wall's coming up. So we talked about defensive trade, and that's exactly what Kaup is feeling as well. The kind of crazy thing is that he can actually buy traders at sometimes. Like this particular landmark or this particular option will give him the traders coming in every so often. Gets favorable trades for it. And surprisingly enough, though, the Byzantines are only on water level 1, and it is quite difficult to scale a second town center and the cistern economy, primarily because they both cost stone, right? Gonna try and protect that gold vein, which he will with the outpost. But it is a tricky situation for the Byzantines, a bit of a balance in some ways, like whether you go for one town center into a fast cistern expansion, fast water level, or do you go for a second town center? I mean, ultimately, it's better to get the second town center quicker, right? Just get more villagers. And then maybe to look into enhancing them later on. But here are a couple of traders already popped out for the ayyubids, and that's going to be good for the economy for sure. We're getting 77 gold per trip. That's going to scale very nicely. The issue for the Byzantines and crackedyhere is you've got to try and challenge this, right? Like, unchallenged trade is a very scary thing. And so crackedyhere's going to want to put some pressure soon if he can. We're just coming forward for Kaup. What's going on here? Wait, what? Is he going to wall up? That's a lot of villagers to commit to this. There's 7 villagers, guys. Wait, what the hell? Hello? Is he going to get outposts? Oh my god, he's getting outposts. Okay, well, they say sometimes aggression is the best form of defense, and, well, he believes that. And the trouble for crackedyhere is this is actually in range of this outpost, so that's the thing about outposts. Sometimes in the positioning of them, it can be tricky. Like, he invested 100 wood into this, but it doesn't actually give him all that much. He's going to get arrow slits, so he's going to halt the progression any further. But he's going to have to move out to the other gold vein now on the west side. That's a lot more exposed. But this is a lot of committal here. 7 villagers. I mean, sure, they will be able to actually go for the deer camp. I think it's kind of an interesting choice. If he does go for the deer camp especially, he might be looking to extend it even further, getting another outpost. In range of that town center, being an absolute nuisance. The Ayyub is going for an outpost and trade strategy. I mean, I love this stage of Age of Empires 4, right? Clearly still being figured out. Crazy strategies coming in, and Kaup demonstrating one today. He's going to get arrow slits, and these villagers can't go there. Not anymore. Got 10 traders so far. That economy is scaling very nicely. 44 economy units. Now, we'll be able to get the fortification as well. But the thing is that there's a lot of stone being pumped into all of this, right? 100 stone, 50 stone, and this is great for Kaup, because what it does, it means that the cistern influence is not going up quick enough. It's at water level 2. That will give him a 10% increase in terms of gather speed for the villagers, but with that level of investment into the outpost that's being forced out here, it's actually really good, because like, it's not just a straight up trade, right? Like, Kaup is spending his stone and wood, but what this is forcing crackedyhere to do is spending his stone and wood. The trouble is, Kaup doesn't need that stone for anything else, but crackedyhere does. Won't be able to push that position, not with it fortified just now. Let's see actually, what mercenary contract did he go for? Okay, did go for the Western mercenary contract, going to get access to Long Vermin. I mean, the trouble for crackedyhere is he's not been able to stop this creep, right? This is kind of crazy, actually. This is a problem for crackedyhere. He's not been able to stop this at all, and yeesh. Ayyubids might even actually get some rams on the field, right? Oh, that's exactly what he does. This is perfect, because just as the Abbasid dynasty do, the Ayyubids can build the rams on the field. He doesn't have to wait for the siege engineering, and Gonna try and wall up, but that's gonna be broken down pretty quickly. The trouble with Byzantines, he doesn't have the units he wants, and this allows that trading to really boom up. 14 traders already. And we just saw 2 more... Oh my god, okay. We just saw 2 traders spawn out, 2 villagers spawning out. The eco is... you know what? I take it back. I take it back. I wouldn't say the ayyubids are... You know, they do have a strong economy when you've got, you know, options to trade in like this. You know, trade for villagers, trade for traders. Obviously, it's a little bit less predictable. Which is kind of crazy in a way, right? Because if you go up against it, you never really know what's going to happen. Because you don't know what tickets they're going to get. You don't know if they're going to go for... Well, I suppose he knows he's going to focus on trade because he sees the trade. But the trouble with Byzantines now is that kaup has had trade up and running for at least about 7 minutes. 7 or 8 minutes. 17 traders. That's starting to get a scary number. Another one? Okay, well this is a pure outpost spam from kaup. And what this does actually is actually quite significant. There's actually a very decisive, very deliberate approach for kaup on this. The reason why it's going around the right side of Crackedy's base is because, take a look. Look at all these secondary resources. There's the main primary 8,000 gold. There's a primary 2,400 stone. And there's a primary, well, you know, 4,000 gold. And he's denying this gold as well. That really limits the options for gold for Crackedy and the Byzantines. It only lives in this one gold vein, which is only 4,000 gold in it. And let me tell you now, the gold is not going to be a problem for the ayyubids. Getting 1,000 gold per minute. Scrap that, 1,200. That is pretty insane, but the good thing with Byzantines, they do have a pushback mechanism with the Cairo Siphon. They should be able to do pretty good damage, but with this number of outposts, to be fair, I mean, he's not going to sustain too much damage to the arrow fire, but it's going to take some damage. Here comes a... Wow, okay, maybe not. These guys actually burn things down. Holy smoke. Those villagers might have to back home. Yeah, that's optimistic. Go back home. Go back to safety, because the Cairo Siphon going to burn them down very quickly. But it is a heavy investment. Golden Age Tier 2 does come in for the ayyubids as well, and that's something to think about, by the way. The Golden Age Tier 2 and, well, the Golden Age tiers really are different for the Abbasids as they are for the ayyubids. There's more tiers for the ayyubids, and they're actually a bit more easier to get. So 10 structures, 20 structures, and 30 structures. But it does mean that they get a little bit of a less bonus. The ayyubids only get 10% gathering rate for the Tier 1, whereas the Abbasids get 15%. So there are slight differences there for sure. The Cairo Siphon going to take care of all the outposts there. So it bought a bit of time for kaup, and he's walling up as well, right? I think this is a smart play because it does take some time for the trade to really come online. In many ways it already has, but there is going to be a window. There's going to be a window for the Byzantines to push. Because look at the military numbers that he's got so far. He's got the Limitani and the Longbowmen. And he's going to push hard, I think. And so he does have a window of opportunity here to push hard, especially with the Cairo Siphon. Adding siege. When you have a strong push, you definitely want to back it up with siege to take out infrastructure. And I got to say, the palisade walls will buy some time for kaup, but I mean, these guys will burn through everything. And that military number is starting to pump out. 44 versus 15, and kaup is going for the mega boom. Oh my god, how many markets has he got? Holy smokes. He's actually got 5 markets at this point. I mean, that's going to take a lot of resources to keep running. But once it does get online and it starts pumping, that's going to be dangerous. Like, this is going to be interesting. I feel like the game's going to be decided in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. Because I think beyond 10-15 minutes, if Crackedy doesn't address that trade, it's over. Because that trade is booming. Does have the water level 3 now. Does have enough stone to extend that, and he's doing just that to get to water level 4. But the good thing for the Byzantines is that they do have this tempo aggression here at this kind of stage when they do get the water levels up. Because of the conscriptio, right? It's going to be able to get 100% production speed on the buildings that are in range if they it does get up to water level 5. And I genuinely think that this outpost rush for the ayyubids has done so much work, because again, it delayed that water level, delayed the villager gather speed, but also delays the military production speed. There's going to be a Mangonel on the field. I would love to see that toggle ability. So this is a unique weapon for the ayyubids. Has the incendiary option. Can be chased down. I think he loses that actually. The Cairo Siphon going to burn through the outpost. In fact, maybe not. The spearmen or Limitane, they brace against the cavalry. The cavalry do engage, but the Mangonels or the Mangonel does deploy. Gets a lot of damage on those Byzantine Limitani. Limitani are chasing. I think he could survive with that Mangonel. Oh no, the Mangonel will go down. But the spring on emplacement inside the outpost, we're going to buy some more time. Focusing on the units. The Siphon will make short work of those though. And our Golden Horn Tower coming up for Crackedy. Get to the Castle Age. Kaup already is in the Castle Age. He went up with the Culture Wing. So I didn't actually see which one he went up with, but it's quite likely that he went up with the one that was cheaper. Or maybe no, he went with the Dervishes actually. We saw Dervishes on the map. And although he could have possibly produced the Dervishes from the mosques, to be fair, because he's got 2 of them already. He's got 2 of the relics. It's difficult to know whether he went for the Dervish, for the Culture Wing, or whether he went for the cheaper tech up. Possibly the cheaper tech up though. There's a bit of a bug on the Spectator. We don't actually see the age up coming in for the ayyubids, which is a bit annoying. You kind of have to keep an eye on it. So I missed that on that occasion, I'm afraid. I have to keep a better mental check on that. Be a bit more cognizance of the fact that we've got to keep checking on the ayyubids age up. But with a couple of Mangonel and we see a couple of Dervish out for Kaup. This could be a difficult army to deal with, especially with the healing power from the Dervish. If you get some nice meat shield of Gulam, takes an engagement. Could be tricky for the Byzantines. The Varangian Guard though, 140 health, 13 mace damage versus the Gulam. So the Varangian Guards certainly do have a better attack, but lower health, just to balance them up. Alright, relics are being picked up now, but those traders, 44 traders. He's picked up 2 relics and deposited them already here, Kaup. Trying to get a third, but that's not going to happen. And well, Crackedy about to burn through with his Siphon. That's going to make short work of the gate. And then break his way through. The trouble is, can he do decisive damage? Can he do significant damage? I'm not so sure. We'll have to see. I mean, I would love to see him push back, but it's looking a bit tricky for him. Does have a lot of production coming out. And don't forget, these guys are getting boosted up very quickly. So he should be able to get a longbowman pretty sharpish. Once it's connected, at least. Takes 9 seconds for a Limitani. Just holding on for now. 2 Siphon. I mean, it could be enough. We'd love to see a couple more added. Trouble is, it is a fine balance between units and siege. Here we go, upgrading his contract to get the veterancy for his longbowman. Can we go down the middle this time now? Just keeping a guard on that relic. Looking to get a sacred site. I'll probably pick up the relic first though, to be fair. The traders numbers 51. These guys are picking up a lot of gold. 77 per trip. Look at that gold income. 2,200 per minute at least. Villager dies a slow death. That was dramatic. In the middle though, this is where things are getting a bit dicey. You can see a lot of trickling of purple units. Again, still having to take out some outposts on the way. Here comes a big push though. I mean, there's not a lot of units here though. It doesn't necessarily seem like 76. I think he's got his army dotted around the map, right? Oh, this is not going to be great as an engagement here, Crackedy. He needs to get the army together. Could have been an opportunity there for Kaup just to take the Byzantine army whilst they're caught split up. The Siphon going to focus on the barracks and going to come in from the south, and Siphon will go down. Probably the second one as well. That's unfortunate for Crackedy. I think he got a little bit impatient. Not to keep the army together, but it can be done. Looks like he's going to go to harass that trade. The trouble about this situation is it's kind of similar to sort of when you're diving underneath town centers. Do you go for villages or do you go for trade? The trouble is the unique thing about trade is that he's got about 5 or 6 markets. So it's like, it's kind of like this Palace of Swabi effect, you know, with the HRE. You can never really raid them to death. With this number of markets, I'm not sure whether he can really raid this to death. Golden Age tier 4 comes in for Kaup, and the Gulam going to be coming in as well. That's a lot of longbowmen, but I'm not sure there's enough of a meat shield here for the Byzantines. And the Mangonel is approaching. I think Kaup just wins this fight, and this is a problem situation for Crackedy. And the Varangian Guards definitely holding firm. But with the Mangonels, or the Mangonel, the 2 of them, about to unleash hell on those Varangian Guards. The Varangian Guards will break through and maybe take out one of the Mangonel. In the meantime, a couple of longbows and crossbows trying to focus on the the traders, but the trouble is that once they go down, they're just going to be built up again. That's a large army now for Kaup defending. Look, there is 82 army here. Oh, he's walled up. He's going to get a second wall as well. Kaup really delaying the game. He knows he's ahead in economy. All he needs to do is stall out the aggression, which he is doing. And he's still ahead on economy. And yeah, for every trader he kills, it's almost like another 3 spawn. And Kaup is almost getting to that 200 population space, but so are the Byzantines. He breaks through one layer of palisades, and Kaup going to get another. This is going to be so frustrating for Crackedy. We've all been there playing the game. Yikes. He should be able to burn it down pretty quickly though. He's got a lot of torch damage there. Coming in. Defends the trade for another good few minutes at least. The Sultan's Mamluks. Okay, this is interesting. Infantry gains 25% damage and plus 20% movement speed for 10 seconds after killing a unit. That can really snowball, right? If he takes a good fight, he can chase down the retreating army. Speaking of army, that's 79 military units. And it comes to the point in the game where this actually could work quite well for the Byzantines, because it's all one thing about having economy, but really what wins the game is a military push. But there is a Mangonel. The Mangonel has to back away for now. Does have a couple of desert raiders focusing on the front line. Mangonel does deploy on that front line. A lot of the Varangian guards trying to focus as much as they can, taking out the camels. And he will be able to push in quite hard here. The Mangonel pretty exposed. Varangian guard's going to dive in, but I don't think he gets it. He's going to survive. If villages are pulled to repair, that will help as well. That's exactly what happens. Kaup does just that. He's going to repair. There's 4 Mangonel. They've come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the heavy infantry army for the Byzantines is going to struggle against this. No springles on the field for Crackedy. And he's going to hold. That was a good hold there for Kaup. A couple of units being sent eastwards for the Byzantines to see how much value they can get. But there's not a lot. Another Mangonel coming out. Oh my god, that's 5 Mangonel. I mean, that's very difficult to deal with. It doesn't have springles, and there's no way that the infantry are gonna dive on that. Not with the defense that Kaup has and units. And he's gonna get springled as well. Okay, he's gonna go full Mangonel play. There are a couple of Varangian guards chasing them down, but that number of boulders is gonna be very difficult to get up close and personal. Does deploy once again, and it's gonna be a good pushback from Kaup now. Despite the military advantage, in numbers at least, the siege is what's really dictating this game now. Those longbows are gonna focus on the traders, so well, Kaup's going to need to address this. He won't want to lose too many of these, but he should be fine for now. Crossbows acting as a front line, then followed by the dervish, a couple of camel lancers. You love to see it, but we've got to be careful that the Mangonel are pretty unprotected. Oh, the Varangian guards do use the berserking ability. They're going to try and dive in on the Mangonel. Will they get them though? I'm not so sure, because there's more Mangonel. Oh my god, that's a lot of Mangonel. I mean, what else is there to say? That's a lot of Mangonel. 8 of them, and he can't get close. Oh, he's not. The bleeding hasn't stopped. That's actually a really big pick-off here for Crackedy. Has Kaup not noticed? I mean, that's a lot of traders going down. It's good 41 economy units. But I don't know how he deals with this number of Mangonel. Oh my god, that's a lot of Mangonel. Kaupy. I just kind of assumed that he would deal with this. I wish we could see the kill count on each unit, because that'd be pretty impressive right now. It's good 48 economy units. Kaup. Kaupy. Do something. I mean, at this point, I think he's just replacing them, to be fair. But he wanted to address this. Yeah, he's going to send some camel lancers now eventually. And that was a lot of traders that these longbows got, and that was a big scalp there for Crackedy, gotta say. Oh, in the middle of the map though. On the Mangonel. Oh my god, this is gonna be devastating. He's gonna try and jump on top of this, but we might see a couple of Mangonel deployed on the back line behind that choke point. We'll have to see. Oh, here come the camel lancers. A Wallow coming off, and that's gonna push out the infantry away from that position. Oh, Varangian guards. Oh, they're decimated by the boulders of the Mangonel, and let's go for the trade again, but again, he just cut off one head and 2 head appears. Gives you the HRE Palace of Swabia vibes, I've got to say. Another huge Mangonel shot. That was a lot of HP taking off those longbows. I mean, there's no way that Crackedy deals any damage to the Mangonel mass, right? Deploys on the crossbows. Slowly but surely, he's going to push in. Uh-oh, that's a devastating shot. Oh, God. I would have loved to have seen the incendiary arrows version of this. You can toggle on it, and That army was decimated in the blink of an eye. The Mangonel clearly a play for the ayyubids. Trade, outpost rushing into Mangonel, into Dervish. Kaup is having some fun. Well, behind this, Crackedy is going to go to that Imperial Age with the Foreign Engineering Company. We'll give him access to the Hui Hui Pao, the Nest of Bees, and the Royal Cannon, I believe. But I think he's going to need more than Imperial Age here because he's going to need to find a way to deal with this number of Mangonel. Trade has been secured once again, and Kaup, he's not keen on having that happen again. He's going to stonewall. Is he stonewall the left as well? No, but he's got palisades. But, well, Crackedy going to try and get a keep on this trade on the west side. And that will go up. And that will deny the trade for a time being. But the trouble is, it feels like the damage has been done, right? Because, I mean, look at the siege he's got. And he does have 3 of the relics. And it's certainly worth fighting for. And he will deny that trade for now. Once it goes up, at least. But it might not matter, because I think behind this Kaup just pushes, right? It's creating a bit of a playpen for his army. Definitely dragging the game long. Jeez, it feels like this keeps taking forever to build. Go on, Byzantines. There we are, up and running. And Kaupi will now know about it. But would he address it with Is he just going to take it out with Mangonel? Quite possibly, to be honest. And if he stonewalls the middle, then that's going to be annoying. He's doing it. Oh, it's going to be so annoying to play against, right? He's getting stonewalls in the middle. Yikes. I mean, he's probably going to delete the palisades and just go straight through, right? In fact, he's going to take out a keep with Mangonel, and Crackedy's going to go eastwards. So he knows that the army's there for Kaup. And, oh my god, we do see the incendiary version. You'd love to see it. It does delete the palisades, and he's going to dive on that. I don't think the keep's going to survive for very long. The villagers do garrison inside, but once they pop out, they're going to be burnt to death, and that keep's not going to be staying alive for too long. Not with this number of Mangonel. Down she goes very soon. I think there is I think the fact is the town said the keep is not getting too much value because of the dervishes, and down she goes. The Byzantine keep no longer with us. In the southeast though, Crackedy trying to push in with the Cairo siphon. It's going to take some time. The stonewalls really bought some time for Kaup there. Gives him the opportunity to redirect his army now. And we talked about this map being open and aggressive, but Kaup has found a way to totally change that. Oh my god, more stonewalls. That's crazy. Alright, well, Crackedy is going to be infuriated at this game, I would have thought. Cairo siphon going to try and fury their way in with fire. It's interesting how stonewall catches fire. Not sure how possible that is. But it still looks cool. Now, after all that, Kaup is still at 68, 69 traders. I guess we shouldn't be surprised with that number of markets. Trying to get stonewalls up again. Another one. Oh, Kaup, is he just trying to annoy his player out of the game? Because it could be happening. Crackedy does have a healthy military number, 87. And he's going to be breaking through pretty quickly now. Stonewalls can burn quickly, apparently. And this could be dangerous for Kaup. He's heading up with his army now with the Mangonel. I mean, at one point, Mangonel are just going to have to go through the middle, right? I mean, look at the bank of resources there for Crackedy. I mean, there's a possibility he's starting trade himself, but no, not just yet. He does have gold ready to take still. Oh, that's a devastating volley of those incendiary arrows from the Mangonel. Oh, on the back line, maybe. Oh, that's absolute devastation. This is destruction. Those units are not going to get close. The Mangonel going to be taking out the Varangian guards, and then the longbowmen. Those longbowmen are going to absolutely melt. Absolutely melt to them. The Mangonel getting splash damage as well, don't forget. Oh my god. The Byzantine longbowmen. They're going to want to head back to England. They don't want to fight for the Byzantines anymore. Because they're dead. And, well, the Cairo siphon are going to get some damage for Crackedy, but he's going to get a keep on that trade once again, but doesn't feel like enough. With that Mangonel mass, How does he deal with it? That's going to be a lot of dead villagers. Going to try and stonewall this as well and keep the traders out. But the Mangonel again, they're going to deploy and they're going to absolutely rain hell on those villagers. They take out the stone walls at the same time. And it's going to be so devastating for Crackedy. How does he deal with this mass of Mangonel? The keep does go up, but just like the keep on the west side, I suspect this keep on the east side will go down pretty quickly. Doesn't even need military units that much. This does have a couple of desert raiders. We'll take that keep down pretty quickly on the east side now this time. The traders, they don't mind. They're going to go through. The keep will burn. Burn to the ground. Going to be heading in towards the middle again, it seems, Crackedy, but there's no way through with the stone walls being there. Has got 5,000 olive oil in the bank, Crackedy. So gold is not necessarily a big problem for him because he can get siege now. Using olive oil. Spamming out units in the middle. Might be time to start off the unit spam. The trouble is gold. You know, he's got almost infinite gold here. Capabilities kaup. It's so difficult to deal with the trade. But at some point, kaup will need to actually be aggressive to win the game. Because there's no other win condition, right? The sacred sites are on the side of Crackedy. So it's going to look to go for a landmark victory, I would have thought. He's got the double layer of stone walls, so maybe looking to go back in the middle now. Yep, sending the army there. Sakara siphons again. There's got to be another way. I mean, the thing is, that number of Mangonel, how do you deal with that? You got to have like masses of springalds, but I mean, to be fair, the Mangonel at that point just snipe out the springalds. So if you thought Nesta Bees were bad, check out the Mangonel. He has a bombard as well. He's maybe thinking about going on the west side. I was going to chop through maybe. No, I was going to get stone walls on the west side. The Mangonel going to take out the Cryosiphon. There's a Cryosiphon still working there at the back. Something kaup probably needs to do something about. We're going to send some villagers to burn it. That'll take some time though. Oh, maybe not. It's on half health anyway. Going around the west now, Kaupi. Pulling the Byzantine army left and right. Okay, I didn't check how long this game was. I just checked that it was over 20 minutes. Hopefully it's not this for another 2 hours. We'll have to see. I can't stop now. It's that effect, right? Once you start, you just can't stop. You've got to see who wins this. I mean, I don't know. There is a possibility that Crackedy wins this, but that massive Mangonel, what answer is there to that? Just going to stonewall up. Crackedy saying, look, if you're going to stonewall, I'm going to stonewall, but the walls won't go up in time, I don't think. Not with that Mangonel mass. Burning through. Does he delete the palisades? Quite possible. By the way, just to let you know as well, the houses do give him extra vision. It's got the upgrades on the houses. Go through the middle now, maybe. Could be the time. It's going to be burning through the palisades and then go through the gate. But the thing is that there's cavalry here. The veteran desert raiders and also the elite camel lancers. Quite a lot of limitane though. And bringing guards. Going to be protecting those Cryosiphon. Again, the military number is just looking crazy, right? 83 versus 31. But don't let that fool you because it's 42 military in terms of just pure siege. In the form of the Mangonel, of course, for the ayyubids burning their way through. And it feels like maybe kaup now is thinking, okay, now's my time. Let's... Oh my god. Yeah. Crackedy, you gotta find another way. There's no way. Oh god, they're just losing units now. That's gonna be a big death push. Like if there's ever a death push of army, like if we thought maybe mass great bombards were great for the Ottomans, I mean, take a look at this. It's gonna maybe try to go around the west side there with the bringing guards, kaup extending the walls sneakily, but that has been stopped. Trouble is, can he stop this? Camel Lancer's going to get some eco damage. Mangonel with 2 bombards as well, and the big thing is the bombards are going to be sniping out the Cryosiphon as well as buildings. The Mangonel deploy was coming in with from 2 angles though. Crackedy trying to get close and personal. And the longbowmen, though, from the south, they're going to get absolutely decimated. The Varangian Guard's going to try and chop through, but there are actually quite a few of hand cannoneers looking to protect the Manjanik. There is a Cairo Siphon. Can't get too much value, of course. And the Manjanik continue to fight. And the Desert Raiders going to hold that front line. Another volley of the Manjanik. Camels coming in from the south. There is a nest of bees, just one though only. Maybe mass nest of bees for Crackedy could be the response, but yeah, those units melting. Now it's only 21 military on the field for Crackedy. Does have the bank of resources. But at this point, it's not the resources that's the problem, it's the army composition. Does have the 3 nest of bees. But he hasn't had time to mass them up enough. And they're going to be sniped pretty cheaply. There's expensive units going down, and Kaup heading further forward, and I think at this point this death push, it was only a matter of time you feel, but we did want to see it. More nest of bees do come out, but slowly but surely the Byzantine army being pushed back, the ayyubids coming forward, the longbowmen going to be sent to their death. Oh my god. That's an absolute destruction, and this is going to go from bad to worse. See what diving in is. It does have a choke point there into the town centre, so could try and defend in that position. But how does he... I mean, the choke point is actually going to hurt him at this point because the Manjanik are going to deploy and take out a lot of the units. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to see the tap out here. Crackedyhere. He can't hold this. Not with this number of Manjanik. The ayyubids coming in with the trade, with the outpost rush, with the Manjanik push, with the incendiary attack coming in there. Even the nest of bees is going to go falling down to the Manjanik. I don't know if there's a way to stop this. If you guys know a way, let me know in the comment section below, because this is looking rough. Crackedy's main heart of the economy has got trade set up, but yeah, that's going to melt very quickly to the Manjanik, and there's nothing to stop this, you feel. Crackedy here is going to be down and out. Losing to mass walls, and Kaup is going to be taking care of the Byzantine army with the Manjanik. And the production building is going to go down further forward, and once that goes down, there's no way that the Byzantines can produce the army to deal with this. Camel Lancers coming in from the back just to protect the Manjanik as far as possible. There are still 2 bombards as well, even a Springall in there for good measure. The Siege Death Ball from the ayyubids going to be burning things down. Takes down some aqueducts. Water is trickling down from the aqueducts. There's a leak. Someone's got to spring the leak. There's not enough water, though, to deal with the Manjanik. The Varangian Guards keep trying to charge in, but they're just coming in trickles. That is a massive siege that is almost seemingly unstoppable. Anything that gets on its way is being burnt. Here come more Camel Lancers. 26 military to 35, and I say that, it's actually 35 plus 42, because the Manjanik now going to start to burn down the olive groves. No, not the olive groves. And that's going to be the heart of the economy going down for Crackedy. Going to go for the Grand Winery. Does have 2 relics deployed in there. That's going to burn to the ground, and then pretty much just leaves the town centre, which is also burning. He's holding it for now, but he still has a healthy economy lead, economy number, to be fair, 104. But the military numbers, they're going to be difficult to get out, that's for sure, with the production buildings now being taken out. The mass of the Manjanik, there's no way to stop this, you feel. Going to be a matter of time. It's a destruction. The Byzantine Empire... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. That's a bit of drafting of Varangian Guards. They might sniper 1 or 2 of them. Does get 1, possibly 2. No, quite. Not quite. The Camel Lancers took care of them in the end, and the Byzantine Empire, the base, the Sim City, has been destroyed. Trying to get a town centre on the south, but we knew it for a while. He's down and out. Crackedyhere losing to a crazy ayyubid strategy. Outpost rush into walling, into trade, into Manjanik. Raining hell with fire. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast of the game on YouTube. If you did, do give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.